back into a very special episode of the Celtics Talk Weekly podcast. I am your host, Robert Tane. You guys are the two guys down below, Seamus Zarlingo and Nick Franco. Today, we got the man himself, GRD, joining us for the podcast. Before we get started, GRD, I know we said thank you, but again, just want to say I appreciate your time, my man.
Hey, I appreciate the time you guys putting in, creating the content that you guys have created. I watched some of you guys grow up, and I listened to the podcast and the lingo that you guys speaking. It's like insane to see how much you guys have changed, like evaluating the game. I know Rob sometimes I don't really agree with what you say about hating on my coach sometimes, but I still love you guys.
That's how I know you really watch, because you know where I stand.
I
But
I listen
hey,
to everything. Actually, I don't watch because I don't want to see you guys ugly faces, but I do listen to it.
I appreciate you. All
That's
right,
why they
so
have to get us on radio.
Yeah,
right,
you
that's why
got a face
we
for
got radio
radio.
voice. So you got a watch party coming up, and before we get started talking all the C's and all that stuff, I kind of want to I want you to let the listeners. I'm sure they've heard about it, but if they haven't, let them know what's popping for this watch party.
So basically, guys like you guys, Celtics Talk Weekly gang, are invited, and it's basically a watch party, but also a community event in the sense of like a lot of like-minded like content creators are gonna come there and link up and maybe form some friendships that we never had before. There is a good chance maybe one of you guys might find a future bride too, because at my last watch party there was some people that met and now they're gonna become getting a wedding, and they invited my ass over to the wedding because they met at my watch party. So
Look at
matchmaker
that.
There you go.
GID in the house.
Here we
What
go.
is the party?
I'm loving
Um,
that.
no, but this is where all genders can link up, all sexes, all backgrounds, all races, and we all won. We all Celtics fans. I never had any bad vibes at any of my watch parties, and this is like the first regular season one, so I'm a little nervous. I want it to be a banger, and like I think minimum there's gonna be like 300 people there, and like the 300 people is the quality of them that I care about. These are the people that live, breathe, and die Celtics. Like I know you guys are meatballs in the middle of the summer, August. It's hot as hell out, but you guys are still thinking about what's the Celtics' next move. Like,
Summer
what's
League.
the final roster spot gonna look like?
Summer
You
League
know,
post
Right.
like
game show with Justin Lowe.
Yeah.
hey. So that's what it is. It's gonna be a lot of people just like us that like to collect the same jerseys, collect the same hats, and like the more people that you could meet there, I think the better. Like, and nobody's gonna leave there like having a bad night. It's at Seabrook Casino and right near Hampton Beach. It's like a little distance from Boston, like 45 minutes, but this is a free event, 18 plus. They're gonna have full bar. They got food there. I told them that I don't want no chairs though. I want everybody standing, getting
Standing,
rowdy,
I
watching the
understand. I like
game.
that. I like
But
that.
we're gonna have some tables set up. It's the first time we're doing it, so little dry run.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
And I know you had the watch parties for the playoffs. Those are at Big Night Live. You got any plans for the playoffs coming up?
I mean, that's exactly what I want to branch into. Like starting this for the regular season, it's like a niche crew that comes to these watch parties, and it's like once they come, they don't want to miss them either. Cause so like wherever we decide to do it in the playoffs, it's gonna be successful. I love Big Night Live because the location right next to the Garden is like amazing and whatnot. But this one that I'm doing at the Brook is a lot more cost effective. The drink prices are fairly cheap. Like food is cheap. They got a sports book, they got poker there, they got slot machines, they got roulette. I might act up. Maybe you never know.
They got a sports book? I didn't know they had a sports book.
They got a DraftKings sports book there. It's
Oh,
like
okay,
this
okay.
place, Seabrook, like it's kind of like my home base. Like these guys over there been treating me good for a long time. Like anytime I need anything, they hook me up. So
Right.
that's why I decided to do it here, and like it's in my neighborhood too. Like I only gotta
Right.
drive like 20 minutes.
Man,
A
I'm right
lot of
there
other
with you,
people
man.
gotta
Yeah.
drive like
I saw that location. I was like, hell yeah. I was like, perfect.
I feel like I'm rumbling, taking over you guys' show, but
No, no,
No,
bro.
No,
That's what
no,
you're
oh,
here
no, that's
for,
what we
man.
need to
we talk for as long as humanly possible because we come on here and talk all the time. And to have another guest on here, we always want to hear from them more than us anytime anyone's on. But your journey in this community, the Celtics community as a whole, I believe it's been an inspiration to all of us in making our own Celtics content and our own little niche communities, because you're talking about just the watch parties, but we think about it like even on the internet, just within our comments or within, whatever our viewership is on the internet, and however that can translate into real life too. All of that is a huge community that's like split off into branches, but we're all one in the end. And for you to do what you're doing in real life and bringing everybody together in one location, I mean, that's an inspiration to all of us to keep doing what we're doing, because we all know what we're doing here on this show is uniting Celtics Nation. And you've done a tremendous job at that over the years. And we kind of have our own favorite Celtics moments over the years. And we've seen you on social media be in many different locations for the Celtics over time. And we're wondering where or when did your favorite Celtics moment happen in your time covering the Celtics from your Instagram page and being on social media? Now, I know there may have been a time before that period, but any content in which we saw from the lens of your camera, right? What was your favorite moment throughout all of that coverage?
It was probably building up a relationship with some of the players where like they will go into the locker room and guys will players' families like, and they will go into the locker room, get stuff given to them like sneakers, jerseys, and then they'll come right to me and like sell it to me for a low price. So that's like a pretty memorable moment. I don't have no plug like that right now, but in the past, like something like that. Maybe you guys recall when I gave Terry Rozier the Drew Bledsoe jersey.
Yep.
Scary Terry.
I
Yep.
think what year was that? 2017.
It's got to be that playoff run, right?
18.
Like I'm just a glorified cheerleader of the Celtics and a jokester, and I
Unreal.
like to have fun. But like for Terry Rozier to invite me to his house that day, like chill with his family and meet all of them, like it was pretty cool. Like
What do you think? What do you think in house though? If you're talking like, and I know there's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of games you've been to, but you got to have one moment where you were just like, that was, because I feel like for me, game one Celtics Nets, that was out of body experience, or
Yo,
game
that
7
was-
against Philly, that was just like,
I think
whoa,
that was like Greek Easter, so I wasn't able to go to that
you
game,
weren't
bro.
there.
So
Oh.
yeah, I got my tickets to one of my friends, and I still forever remember that. You're talking
But
about Tatum buzzer beater, right?
yeah, at the buzzer
Yep.
against
Yeah.
Kyrie. I mean, but what do you think if you like in-house at
Damn.
TD Garden, favorite or just like most come to mind, just like most this crazy experience?
Wow.
Like I could go so many different levels. Like the Isaiah days with the him knocking his tooth out of the thing. But what I will say is more simpler than that. Back in the day, before I used to have to buy tickets, like I used to be forming a line outside the Garden before the games and being able to buy playoff tickets for like $10 each. And I will be hiring all these homeless guys to stand in line, and then I'll buy all the tickets off of them. So then I'll go to school and sell all my friends tickets. So I'm gonna say like when the Celtics was going against the Orlando Magic in the playoffs, 2010 for a shot to go to the NBA Finals, and they won that game. I was in Boston for that one, and that was a big deal. In 2010, I was like in high school, so I had like 10 of my high school friends with me. It was like 15th row of the balcony, but yeah.
There's no such thing as a
Yep.
bad seat in the Garden. That's my thing.
Once you start sitting close, you get spoiled though. That's the only
You
Yeah.
do, you do.
You-
I'm a
it's-
Loge
it's
10 man.
terrible.
Loge 10 spoils you.
Yeah, you're like 1 or 2 over from center court. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Loge
I'm
10
not even
spoils
gonna start talking.
you. Yeah,
But-
Yeah,
Mr.
we
Woodside
know
there.
what you said, guys. You silly goose.
But
All
yeah.
right, but if we're talking, if you go, Franco, my fault.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say, I was going off that. You just can feel a different energy. Do you almost feel like the team almost feels obligated to put on these types of performances that they have in the past in front of this home crowd?
Like when we were 20-0, like I felt like we were on top of the world, and then I just listened to you guys' episode about like those two LA losses, the Denver loss, like that brought us down to earth. Um, I mean, I feel as though the players know how serious of fans we are. They know how much expensive it is every single night to go to these games. Like, we're blessed to have be Celtics fans because a lot of other team players take nights off like crazy. At least
Right.
our guys are on the court every night, you know.
And that's funny that
Right,
you
they're
say
hitting
that.
you with the
Well,
19% markup for next season.
yeah, I saw that.
Ooh.
Yo, that is a big topic to be discussed because that trickles down big time, like just to the people that purchase game by game. Like I witnessed ticket prices this year. Like some days during the week you could get a ticket for like 60 $70 on the secondary market, and I wonder if what the future is going to be. Is it just going to be like $100 to get in? Like that's kind of ridiculous.
Well, back in
Right.
when we were bad, the first half of the championship run, tickets were like 20, $40 max. Like if you're going balcony, it was super affordable. And now you can't. I try to get to games with my friends. They can't even. You can't even get ticket. I mean, for a guy in college, it's just forget it. Like it's too expensive. It's just like if you're not working a job, that's like, and that's what's the
Right.
unfortunate part about it. Because some of the biggest diehard fans, I feel like, can't even get into the game.
That's where they
Yeah,
need to come up with better VR options for us because
VR.
if we can't get into the game, we got to see it somehow from a great angle because
They had that kid wearing the Apple Pro.
I saw that.
oh yeah, that's coming out as well. Well, it already came out. I think we could definitely make something work in that regard because I definitely agree. There was an experience last year. I've only been to Boston one time. I'm from St. Louis. I'm not a Celtics fan because of Jason Tatum. I've been around before Jason Tatum. Isaiah Thomas is my guy. I was a Rajon Rondo guy before Isaiah Thomas, but I've only been to Boston once. And the first game I went to, it was a Cavs game, but the second game was a Nets game right after KD and Kyrie were traded. However, the ticket prices were still set as if KD and Kyrie, they're still going to be there because it just happened. It was like the beginning of March, trade deadline was mid-February. And that game, it was like, am I really going to spend $100 like
yeah, it's like
a mile away to see like Dorian Finney-Smith play the Celtics? Like I don't know how that's going to exactly work out in time at all. But all of the diehard fans, I do feel for them over time because it's not going to be the diehard fans who are in the arena anymore. Like in the future, it's going to be more of the
Super Bowl.
wealthy crowd, the
white hair.
corporate crowd, almost like the Super Bowl. And I do question if that's going to like hinder a little bit of the noise
I
over
don't
time compared to the 80s. Like you think of the 80s, not the 90s. The 90s were
Nah, we don't talk about
talk
the
about
90s.
that.
You don't talk about the 90s at all.
But specifically the 80s, the 2010s, of course, the late 2010s. There's a lot of noise in the building. But do you ever feel nowadays as if, do you feel, GRD, do you feel nowadays as if the noise level in the building is just as high as it was, say, 10 years ago when KG, Paul Pierce, Rondo, and Ray Allen were in the building?
So I'll go as far as saying this, like this is a topic that I like to indulge with quite often, and I look at the playoffs as a good measuring stick. But I will say this as like a Celtics loyalist, but also like having the back of my fellow fans in the stands. Like there was so many times like where the Celtics just did not like give us a reason to chant when people have like talked trash about the fans in the stands. So
Right.
it goes both ways. I'm not sticking up for either one. Other than that, to answer your question about like if real fans are getting priced out, I think that there's no way to ignore it anymore. They're absolutely getting priced out. Like these prices are getting ridiculous. Like I have a hard ass job, and now my tickets are gonna be like $3,000 more than they were last year for the same seat. Like, is the product gonna be better next year? We don't know. Like, you got to sign up for it and see what happens. You know.
Right. Well, they're
But
banking on that we get a ring, I feel like, because you figure if they want a ring, they can spike it as much as they want.
but in the past they've raised it the same thing, and we didn't get the ring. So I don't know.
Yeah. We'll
Like,
see.
I'll be honest with you. Like, for me to be transparent, like, I got my tickets probably like less than like 8 years ago. I upgraded to where I sit now, and my seats are good, but like when I got them, they were $4,000 a ticket for the
Right.
regular season. Now they're $9,000 for the regular season. So
Man.
like they increased that much in that amount of years.
It's just like I don't know, because I feel like when my family first bought them was 6 years ago, and we bought them the season right before Horford came over. So we got him like when the IT was bringing him up, and I'll say this: I don't know how you got to sell tickets during the regular season. I feel like to make your money back or to make it worth it, in my opinion. But I think when it becomes worth it is when the playoffs hit, because you still get that discounted rate. You get the season ticket rate. It's
You
a little
do,
bit
but they're
cheaper.
still very expensive. Like,
They are.
and
They
then
are.
Rob, you flirt with like, oh shoot, I only got 3 days to sell these because the game is
Right.
right around the corner. You don't have
Yeah.
much time.
And they're not really
Either way,
working.
the ticket talk, we could talk about it for a whole episode.
Right. No
I
doubt.
literally grew up and brought my name up by selling Celtics tickets my whole life. Like in high school, I will be selling Celtics tickets to my teachers so my grades will be getting good, you know?
Yeah.
Uh like that's my bread and butter. I like messing around with tickets a lot.
Well, I think it's time to take a look at the team this year, because I am interested to kind of know where you're at, because it's been a hell of a year. I mean, it really has. It best case scenario in my opinion, with a couple games here and there, but it's 82. You're not gonna worry about those. Where are you at? Where do you think this team stands? Are they the like runaway clear cut favorites, you think?
I really feel as though like everybody wants to pick out this little weakness, that little weakness. This year, I'll be stupid to pick out a little bit of flaws here or there. Like the main focus is just staying healthy, like resting your guys. They're gonna run away with the division. I don't think the East has ever been this weak in the last like 10 years. It has not been like this. So
Yeah.
Celtics could really take advantage. I feel bad for these little kids that got tickets for the Celtics games in April for Christmas, because April it might be like this guy out of the lineup, that guy out of the lineup. They should be
Right.
resting these guys just for a long run. You gotta look at like playing an extra 20 plus games for these playoffs coming up.
Now, speaking of the playoffs, there are two teams in the Eastern Conference in which kind of up on the Celtics' heels. Now, one of them completely fell off the Celtics' heels once Joel Embiid went out of the lineup, the Philadelphia 76ers. However, the other one, the New York Knicks, I'm not going to mention the Cleveland Cavaliers, but I'm going to mention the New York Knicks. If there were to be a time that comes around in the playoffs, right, between either the Philadelphia 76ers or the New York Knicks, either team, we've seen playoff success or failures in the past against both opponents. This season specifically, say Joel Embiid were to come back, which team would you rather see the Celtics beat in the playoffs this season? Or I mean, maybe both. But which team specifically, the Knicks or the Sixers?
So I'm always gonna be wanting something new. And last year when we was playing good and the Knicks were playing good, I really thought we were gonna have an Eastern Conference final, Boston versus New York, and I really was rooting for that because I got a lot of friends that are Knicks fans. Like the Sixers, they're just that little stepbrother that you just keep beating up, beating him up, beating him up. He don't even want to come back anymore because Daddy's gonna slap the shit out of him. Yo, I want the Celtics versus Knicks this year, and I don't want it in the second round. I want it in the Eastern Conference Finals. So I'm praying the Knicks get the 2 seed so that we could see that in the East Finals, Celtics versus Knicks.
I think honestly, I said this. I'm not scared of Milwaukee one bit. I'm not scared of Philly one bit. Cleveland, I'm not scared of. Two
How about
teams,
them?
man.
How about Danilo Gallinari on a Bucks? So
Wait,
he's
they got
definitely gonna
Well,
drop
Vince,
like six
Yeah,
threes in a game against Boston.
it's Miami or New York. Those are the two teams that like Miami genuinely scares me. I don't know why. They just scare me because of it's just like is you know they're going to be in the mix. New York, I'd love to see that. I don't think they scare me though.
No, it's
New York.
New York doesn't scare us because
Miami scares me. You can call me crazy, but Miami puts some fear in my eye.
I'm
Jalen
afraid of
Brunson-
both of them. Both of them might hurt our players anyways. Both of them are too rough.
They are rough.
Well, that's the thing about the Eastern Conference is it's such a gauntlet. I mean, you look at the West, and we could face a team out of the West who they go through a bunch of injured teams. They go through a bunch of non-optimal teams.
All old.
Right, exactly. Old teams. We were pointing that out in regards to the All-Star game last night on postgame.
Right.
We were saying the East-West rosters, the East kind of has more going for them in terms of their primes of their careers, and the All-Star game potentially being theirs, opposed to the Western Conference. But
I feel like the West has more better teams this year, no?
I kind of agree. I tend to agree. I think the West is.
I would say the West,
because look at the Celtics. Look at the Celtics running away with it in the West. We don't know if it's gonna be the Clippers, Thunder, Wolves. Who's the other idiots that are hanging around there?
The
Nuggets.
They've been taking a little drop off. Clippers have been surging. I'm still pissed about that game in Boston.
That was bad. I don't know. I feel like right now, the way I look, well, actually, something that you said at GRD that I actually, so you mentioned New York's and Miami's physicality. I don't know if you've noticed this the past couple games. I don't know if this is a Joe Mazzulla thing, and I think it is, and I'm starting to love it. They're getting handsy. They are getting, their hands are in the lane. They're hip checking. They're playing a lot more physical. And I think Joe, and you know, I'm not the highest on Joe, but we'll see what happens. And I think Joe saw the Miami game. I think he pulled up film, and I think he pointed out, look how they play against us. Look how they're winning. They're physical. They're aggressive. They're annoying. They are in passing lanes. And I think he got these guys to start doing that. Because if you watch that Brooklyn game, we were handsy, man. We were pushing people around. We were poking balls out. Like it really was a different type of Celtics, I think. And I credit Joe. I will.
I didn't watch that game yet, but what I will say is, put me in the court and I'll punch somebody in the mouth. I'll Isaiah Stewart his ass real quick. I'll take one for the team.
Do you think the NBA needs more situations like that, GRD, where guys are just – now, obviously, that one was not a situation we want to see legally play out, where it's like, okay, these guys are going to go to court now. One of them's going to get arrested. But do you feel like we need more moments like that? Like, because you've been at a lot of Celtics games. You've seen a lot of moments.
Seamus, let's be real. We all like the game of basketball, the 48 minutes, whatever. But it is a circus, and it is a soap opera. And it is like the most fun drama to ever follow. So that's I want all the smoke. Like, I don't know. I like controversy a little. I don't want nobody to get hurt, but if they got a little stinger or something, it's no big deal.
Is there a specific beef moment you've seen at the Garden? Like you were in house for like a Marcus Smart beef moment against somebody else that you can remember? Anybody?
I can't really recall anything getting crazy. When Jay Crowder went like this to John Wall's nose, that was a good moment.
That was like in the midst of the Celtics Wizards rivalry back in 2017, 2016.
I was with Jay Crowder after that game, and I didn't even know he did that. Mm-hmm. Like I took a picture with him after the game, and then I seen that picture after. I was like, "What the hell? This guy's a legend."
Or how about when was it Marcus Morris? He was yelling up in Tristan Thompson's face. That was great.
Something like that.
Was great. You gonna watch the dunk contest?
Yo, Seamus, things like that is when running our accounts is a fun time. You know, like posting all that shit. You know.
Oh, it's all the in between stuff people don't see. It's like, oh, it might just pass them on the broadcast for 2 seconds, but then it's like, oh, wait, we come back around. It's like, bam, this screenshot of him right in his face. Or like Isaiah, like I think about that season. There was a moment in Toronto where Isaiah like pointed a gun at Damari Carroll. And like that was a big moment afterwards. And like nobody really saw it on the broadcast. But then afterwards it was like, oh, he got fined for pointing a gun at him. And it was a huge thing. It was like, is that really a gun or did he just? It's like,
yo, you know what pisses me off though about the internet? It's like, yo, this podcast, we put a lot of thought and love in. We all taking time away from our life to do this. This will get like a couple hundred views, maybe thousands, whatever. Yo, but then I take a stupid video on my TV when it looks like this guy shit his pants, and then that video gets like 10 million views. It don't make sense, bro.
Yeah, it's a cruel world, man.
Social media algorithms. It's
the internet is effed up, bro.
it's kind of sad because it kind of discourages real content of the world. Like
That's what I'm trying to say. Like, you never know what's gonna stick though. It's weird. Like,
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
the
I'll
other
put
day-
together like the most thought out post ever. And I'm like, this is gonna do really well, and it will flop. And then I'll post a video of Peyton Pritchard and Dennis Smith Jr. beefing on the court, and it blows up. It's like, what? How
yo,
does that
just
make any
Venmo
sense?
me.
Here.
Yo, just Venmo me $1 and I'll put that shit on my page.
I got you.
Got you.
Here's-
Yo,
No, like-
Franco, you kind of look like Luka Doncic.
Wow.
I don't know
You
if
kinda
that's the
look like
compliment or
Luka.
insult.
All right, just to
I'll take that as a compliment.
further on this point with this with the view count. So there's a video of Jaylen Brown, pulling Duncan Robinson's arm on my page the other day. It has 426,000 views. 426,000. But wait, let's disclaim this though. A video of us, right? Me and you, Franco. A video of me and you, right? Real Celtics community. Which Jaylen Brown is too, of course. 1,000 views. 1,033 views. It's like algorithm doesn't want to show our faces anymore. They don't want to see it. They don't want to see us. They want to see randomness. And we've seen all of this over time because when we started on Instagram, when that necessarily wasn't the case, it was more about the quality of like what you were actually putting out, like in terms of what you were talking about or like whatever pictures you had at the arena. And like, obviously I was very far away, but I tried to like put out every single thing that I saw. And you were one of the leading content providers of our entire community because not only were you a massive page,
the leading. Remember that.
You were. I mean, I don't want to disrespect.
Come
on. Give him credit when credit is due. The leading. Continue though.
Yes, but you were on the scene for all of the content, and I feel like even some of the on the scene content gets a little disrespected nowadays compared to some of the hoopla that we see out there that makes no sense whatsoever. But I feel like we're just kind of some OGs on here in regards to content, and this is the like new direction in which we go on this show right here. And I want this specifically to blow up into the next community, right? Because like we have our Celtics IG community and our Celtics social media community, whether that be on Twitter or IG or anywhere else. But right here, it's like conversationally connecting with everybody. And again, like what you're doing at the watch party, it's like that's what we need more of. Like that, we need more community like that. And I love too the Celtics starting their Celtics community page. Have you been on that page yet? The Celtics Instagram?
Yeah,
community?
I have. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, I would think that like all of that is building a better community. And of course, you've done a tremendous job at that over time within our own community, and you've helped us out a lot here. But like moving ahead into the playoffs and into the season, like how many more games down the stretch? Like how many more games will you go to down the stretch? And I know you talked about watch parties during the playoffs, but will you still try to attend every single playoff game this year?
Those are amazing questions, and I'll tell you this: like, going to the games has become more difficult as I've gotten older because I have 2 children now. So, to answer your question, it's more so you got to pick and choose which games you decide to go to, decide a way to put your energy and allocate your funds because, like we just discussed, the ticket prices are outrageous. For me to go to a game, it's like I'm dropping a minimum of like $600 or $700, like,
Yeah.
so it's an expensive hobby. But what I will say is this: the playoffs, I will try to be in the house probably like 90% of the games. Like, there's every series, maybe I might take one game off or whatnot, but like being in the playoffs, especially on a special year like this where you really think the team got that chance to go, like that's why all these autograph signings, they mean a little more to me because I really believe this is the year that they do it,
Are we still doing? I heard you on CLNS's program over the summer, right? Are we still doing the fan duck boats after the championship parade this year?
That would be a good idea, right?
That's a hell of an idea.
Yo, one day I'll contact the duck boat company, let them know, yo, we got like 200 fans, we all gonna go around the city of Boston. I think that will go wild.
I think
Just
that would
gotta get
be
the Boston police. Just exit off a couple roads, just a couple barriers, right? Just send it right through.
Yo, but Seamus, as you gave me props before, I would like to give you some too, because your dedication to posting like year 2015, 16, 17, 18, bro, like we had fun going wild on the internet. You did it remotely at your house, like insane content that you've done over the years too, my brother. And you
Hey,
built up your following, and it was no like shortcuts to it at all, you know.
thanks.
My advantage is I got feet on the ground, and like I do spend a lot of money to be able to go to all these games, and it's an investment for me. But like
Mhm.
I view every game I go to as like, yo, I'm gonna meet at least like 50 to 100 people that I never met before, and like
right.
every person I meet, I give them my attention and show them love, and like that's what it's all about for me these days. Going to the games is like it brings my whole vibe up. Like I never had one bad interaction with people at a game. If you guys have ever seen me there, like I I meet a lot of good people. It's
Yeah.
like
You got
feels
the
like I'm going
craziest fans, man. The best and craziest fans.
like
Yeah.
and not
Unwavering
only
loyalty.
that, but they're not my fans, bro. Like we're all Celtics fans,
Celtics
but
fans,
like
Yeah.
right?
but these people, they will remember like yo, I was down in the dumps one night and I DM'd you and we were talking back and forth like 5 years ago, and you have my back, and they'll say that to me, and I'll be like on the verge of tears, like crying
Right.
because these motherfuckers respect me more than my own kids do, you know. It's kind of cool.
That's the
For
best
sure.
part about it. Celtics, it's just like that's different. I don't care what anyone says. Celtics fans are different in that regard. It's truly a community. Every
Yeah.
Celtics fan's like a brother.
And you'll notice that there's absolutely this isn't one of those communities that you can pick out bandwagons, and nor
No,
are people
absolutely.
hopping on the Celtics bandwagon. It's not one of those things. We're not the Warriors. We're not the Los Angeles Lakers, who you can walk anywhere or into any state, you'll find a Lakers fan. Everything in Boston is everyone's a Boston fan for a reason.
I've been to
Hell yeah, I
Boston
respect
once.
that.
Once. I've been to one Celtic game at the Garden. Only one. Been to Boston once.
We're gonna
And
work on that.
oh, for sure, for sure.
We're gonna
That's a
work on
problem
But
right there. You got to get your ass back over here, low 18.
just 18-hour drive. 18-hour drive. There's a reason 18 hours to 18 banners. It's a little messy.
that.
That's a long
But
drive, dude. I wouldn't be able to do that.
it's a 2 day. It's a 2 day affair. I can't go the full 18. That's just an insane experience. But I was there once, right? And the experience I had there and what I felt, it's like I was at home 18 hours away. And it's the only place I could ever in the world yell out, Kyrie sucks, and have 5 people go, yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. And that happened while I was there. And I just, to have a community like that we're in, I think we're very privileged to be within this community because I mean, think like we look at the Sacramento Kings, they don't have this community. I mean, maybe like the beam a little bit
I
out there,
respect
West,
Kings
but
fans. I respect Kings fans.
I'm not disrespecting Kings fans, but I'm saying our community is different. It's just different. The
And
energy is completely different. The amount of fans involved is completely different, and our team wins too consistently, just time after time again.
but
But
we're
There's like
still
a
hungry for
connection.
this banner, Seamus. Us guys over here, Rob, we're hungry for that banner, bro. Like I
Oh,
want to link up with all you guys at the parade, and that will be
hell
the
yeah.
best day of my life.
Well, you
Like,
know what's the best? You know what's the
2022,
absolute best? After they win that playoff game, they advance or whatever, and then the streets get flooded. That is, I don't know if there's a better, like that walking out, you walk on the Causeway Street and you just look out and it's just like thousands of people flooding out of the bars, wherever it is. And they're all just, that is like, it's crazy because the Celtics have become my life and I love that. Like, but that moment, you don't know anyone. You got people coming up to you, you've never met them, you're fist bumping them, you're hugging them. I mean, all the time. And it's just like there feels like there's a connection, not just between the fans and the two fans, but it feels like there's a connection between the players and the fans. It almost feels like we're in it, like I don't know. Maybe I'm just that crazy, but like it feels like you genuinely like they got our back, we got their back type of thing. And I think that's what makes us so special.
Now,
You know
GRD.
what sucks?
Sorry.
Because
Go ahead.
I agree with you 100%,
Right.
but it's like it's so difficult to go from that high of the high in the playoffs where it's so intense and then go to a game on like a Wednesday versus the Hawks. And it's
Yes,
like,
yes, yes,
but
yes.
but it's still Boston and it's still an amazing experience regardless. But like, I know what you're saying. You give me goosebumps when you describe that.
Right.
Like, I don't know. Did either of you guys go to the game 7 versus the Bucks last year? 2 years ago.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Yo, like that was a Sunday afternoon walking outside when it
Yep.
was still nice out. It was still
Oh,
like
the guy
light out. Like
the guy
I was
banging on
standing
the
on
bucket.
telephone poles, acted up.
You
Ah!
and you had that beat the Heat flag. You were waving the beat the. I remember that.
Yep.
Man, oh
we
my
were
god.
ready for the Heat. We
Yeah,
were ready for
I was
that.
a part. I was a part of the. We were waving that in front of during Game
Right for
7
TD.
last year, and then the
Oh, hell
Boston police officer almost tried to leg sweep me off the pole.
Yo, you could tell that I have no life because I live for this stuff. Like
Oh,
I'm
that's the
just
life.
like not only live for that, but I just like to have fun and do what I love. Like I love rooting for the Celtics. I love like getting people excited, having fun, and like messing around and just making people laugh. It's like no better feeling, dude. And like to bring like a lot of people along with the ride that follow my page, it gets a lot more intense during the playoff run. And it's like I feel like I got like 10,000 people behind me, like rooting for the Celtics with me. They want to see our boys win, bring it home. But it's like, I can't really describe that feeling, man. You got me a little excited thinking about it, though. Like that clinching a playoff series type
Right.
vibes, like bring on the next opponent kind of thing. Like, no
Yeah.
better feeling than that shit, bro.
And it's funny that you say that because I've said that all the time where it's like you go through the playoffs hot all time high. Every game is so fun. So fun. And
Until
then
they
all of a
lose
sudden
game 6.
right, I mean it's been a lot of heartbreak. As much fun as it's been, but then you roll around and you got November night against Indiana and you're just like, oh, this is fun. I like it. It's just not it's not close to what the experience is in the playoffs.
Yo, while we're rambling along, I know you guys are just like me, but where was each one of you guys when Derek White hit that buzzer beater last year?
Oh man.
I
I
was
go
I was
here?
on the Cape.
Go ahead,
You go,
Rob.
you go. Oh, I
no.
I
Go
was
ahead,
on the
go
Cape. I was my dad and I, my dad, my dad, brother and I are like that with Celtics, like big three almost, right? So we had this delusional theory that each game in the comeback lined up like the Sox comeback in 04. Right. So it was like game 4. Right? If you win game 6, you got JT coming home game 7. It doesn't get hurt. We win. But game 6, I remember I was like, oh, this game's done. We're toast. He tips it in. My dad couldn't watch. My dad was sitting outside because he couldn't take it. He's like, I'm not watching this. Like, if they win, come out and tell me. White tips it in. I come running out. Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Oh my goodness.
Guest appearance.
Guest
So I
star.
come running out excited. How we
Look
doing?
at that.
Little GRD. Celtics Talk Weekly.
Next generation of Celtics fans, right here.
But yeah, I was on the Cape with my dad.
Okay, what about you, Seamus? Where were you?
Well, unfortunately, I was at my ex-girlfriend's house and I was watching it on my phone, right? I had it on my phone right here.
The biggest game of the year, and you're watching it on your phone.
That's why she's the
You're like
ex-girlfriend.
one of the biggest.
That's why she's
You're like
the
one of the biggest Celtics fans in the world, and you're watching on a 8-inch screen.
But
I'm
Yeah.
glad that that's your
fandom.
ex-girlfriend.
That's
it,
why.
It paints my fandom. It paints my fandom though, because otherwise I wouldn't have been able to watch that. We had other stuff on other screens. We had other people around. I was like, I'm burrowing into my little foxhole here on the couch because her couch like sinks down. I was like, all right, I'm gonna be in my little Celtics foxhole right now. And then all of a sudden, like everybody's just sitting there all normal. And then I just pop up off the couch and I do the exact same motion as Derek White. I'm going all the way down the hall into the other room. Like everybody's looking at me like, what? And I even think I have an earbud in too. And so people are looking at me like, what just happened right here? And I was like, this this might have been the biggest NBA moment I've ever seen. It like live. I don't know what I just saw, but I do remember that moment. Yes, it was on an 8-inch screen, but that's how it happened. How about you,
Yeah,
Franco?
I had the beers flowing in the basement. I was hosting all the watch parties in my basement. I would have like 15 of the boys from the hometown come over to watch the game. Everyone was jumping around. I was emotionless when it happened. I didn't scream. I I I was so excited that I just canceled out and couldn't even let out anything and just stared at the TV for like another 15 minutes while everyone was jumping up and down and celebrating, and I just didn't believe it.
You had the watch
That shit
party
was
going, right?
amazing.
You had the watch
So
party.
yeah, like I'm batting cleanup right here, and I'll tell you this, like it was a grand slam. What happened? It was just like I had the watch party with like 350 people were there, and I have to tell you this, it was probably like 50 of like my closest friends there. My family was there, my mom and dad, and like when that shit went in, like the whole crowd went wild, like insane. Like these are Celtics fans, but these are Celtics fans like us four, like they're
Right.
like a little accelerated, so they care a little more, like these are fans that if the game was in Boston, they probably would have been at the game, but it was in Miami. So when we were celebrating, all of us knew we were gonna go to game 7. So it was like a crazy it was I think that was a Saturday night too in Boston. Like it
Yep.
was absolute insanity when we left that building, and then we don't remember what happened in game 7. That's some shit we don't talk about.
No, we don't mention that. No, but
Jason Tatum. That's what happened. Ankle.
don't even mention it. Don't even mention it. Don't even mention it.
Well, we got image from the ankle at least. I'm just saying.
But what I will tell you,
Outcome.
Rob, you brought up that you're afraid of the Miami Heat. I am completely not afraid of the Miami Heat. Like,
Right.
there's no buyout guy that they could get that will add to anything that will scare me. I really think the Celtics will smash them.
Well,
Right.
Terry
I mean, that's a
an
good point.
insight, too. It's like Terry Rozier. He'll come into a series against us. He'll wink. He'll be like, "I'm shooting 2 of 14. I'm good."
Yeah, he's lunch meat on defense, but I still love him.
We've looked good against them. It's just like it's a weird, like I got a bad, they give me a weird stomach feeling when I play them.
Porzingis.
I mean, I was obviously the same level of confidence going into the series last year. Look at what happened, but I just genuinely believe, bro, we haven't even brought this guy's name up. How long have we been talking about this?
42 minutes.
We have not even said Kristaps Porzingis, the biggest difference maker in Boston since Kevin Garnett. That's what I'm talking about. KP, he makes me like feel excited to be a Celtics fan again. I swear to God, like he brings out a different level, and we have not even seen him do what he's doing in a meaningful games yet. Like in the playoffs, when he's eating people alive and getting 2 points automatically when he drives, it's gonna be an insane thing to watch. I cannot wait.
It just came out. Have you listened to the podcast that they dropped with him and JB?
Yeah, bro. I think that they got a level of chemistry almost on our level.
It's awesome. I love that. Cookies and cream.
But we got better chemistry, us four.
Of course. Where would you
honestly, that episode should have been like an hour long. It was like amazing chemistry, like amazing insight. I really like when they do that, but like I also wish that they would say a little more. They were like making jokes and shit and not saying everything,
Yeah,
you know.
They got some stories. They got some stories.
They saved that for the off season. But yeah, where do you think this team ranks among rosters you've seen in Celtics history compared to what we've seen in the past?
I mean, I've been a like insane Celtics fan for the last like 15 years, and I will definitely say this is just the same level as the '08 team. Like when KG and Ray Allen got here, that could be comparable to 2 future Hall of Famers, possibly KP and Drew Holiday. I don't know.
Yeah. Is there anything that you think differentiates them?
I was actually
the team?
I was actually thinking about this today. Like, a lot of legendary players have worn the number 8. Like, if the Celtics go back to back right now, like maybe Kristaps Porzingis is the last guy to ever wear number 8. Nah,
Could
I'm
be.
talking crazy.
Well, I don't know, because I said the other day, Kristaps Porzingis could be our Kevin Durant type move. I like that you said Kevin Garnett, but we went to the finals in 2022. Could have made the finals last year if Jason Tatum's ankle isn't rolled. If Ime Udoka, maybe. I know.
Hey, we don't got to talk about it. We don't have to talk about
But
it.
I know that was a quick turnaround. It was a quick turnaround. Maybe if Ime Udoka's still in the building, there's probably more cohesion last year. Like, we're on our second year instead of our first year with a head coach. Those 2 years, the Warriors didn't have Kevin Durant in 15. They didn't have Kevin Durant in 16. They lose the finals in 16 after having an amazing record, 73-9, best record ever. And they win the title in 2015. Well, Kevin Durant joins the squad that third year. They go back-to-back. What if Kristaps Porzingis? Obviously, we didn't win the finals in 2022, but we made it. We could have won against the Golden State Warriors. Now we had Kristaps. We could go back-to-back. We could go back-to-back-to-back. He could be an even better addition than Kevin Durant because I'm just going to say, I'm likely not going to leave, right? Likely not going to leave. KP loves Boston. KP absolutely loves Boston.
I think so.
You know what I said last night?
I am scared, though, if the Celtics don't win this year, that I don't know what's going to happen. Nobody does. Like, but I do know that they will be looking different if they don't win.
It would have to be a circumstance where it's like reasonable.
I think the league screwed up big time letting this happen. I mean, you gave Porzingis and Holiday to a franchise like the Celtics. Like, we traded. I love Marcus. I love Rob. I love Malcolm. Right, those are my boys. I grew up on those guys. But you traded Malcolm, Rob, and Smart for Kristaps and Holiday. Like, how did the league? Like, I don't. Kristaps is another level I haven't seen before. He is just like unbelievable. So for us to get him puts us over the top, no doubt.
I will still go back to the moment that they made that trade, and like, I loved Marcus, but I'm like, I was all in. I just thought that Kristaps was the perfect guy because he's not damaged goods. Like, he hasn't really gone to his full potential. I feel like, and now
he's young.
I feel like he has. Like, right now, he is at his full potential. Like, he's not supposed to be a team's number 1. Maybe not even supposed to be a 2, but some nights he's the 2, some nights he's the 3, and he's been amazing this year.
No doubt.
This is
All
my
right,
son, Costadino.
I was right about to ask you. You got.
He's been to a couple of Celtics games this year.
You got a favorite player yet?
I think he likes Peyton Pritchard.
He likes Pritchard.
Wow.
Young Peyton Pritchard in the making, maybe.
Little white boy.
He's
in the making. A 10-day contract with the Celtics.
This kind of sets this
him and Juice are going to be laying it up in a couple of years.
I know,
next
right?
decade.
This kind of sets us up a little bit. Do you have an earliest memory, like an earliest Celtics memory where you're just like, man, I love the Boston Celtics, and that was the first memory ever of loving the Boston Celtics, a specific moment or a time?
Yeah, my childhood memory with the Celtics, it was the season after 9/11 happened, and like a lot of people remember baseball to bring people together or football, but like I just have early memories of going to games and they never used to like search you before that, but like that year, like going to the games, they started searching you and stuff. Like it was like it felt like going to the games that next year was like a whole different vibe. But like I got a game used jersey with like the 9/11 patch there, like from one of the games from Paul Pierce, and like I still have it, and I was like 10, 11 years old at the time, so I will never forget that. 01.
01. Wow. I gotta ask you. You got a lot of nice stuff behind you. You got a favorite item? Is there one thing that you're just like, that's gotta be the best?
I'm not very crazy about things, but I'll show you my favorite bobblehead real quick.
All right, let me see it.
I'm excited to see this bobblehead. Who do you guys think it might be? Robert Williams, Smart, Garnett, Mike Gorman, Tom.
I was thinking maybe Tommy.
Or yeah, if it's Tommy, that would be might have to be Tommy.
We got
Let's see.
It's honestly just a lucky one,
Oh,
but it's
lucky.
like it was
That's
given
OG,
away
though.
at. It was a stadium giveaway in 2002, and it's just
Ooh.
like super hard to find in good condition. It's very small, but
fire.
like I don't know why it's like just my favorite thing I have. Celtics. I've always
I
had
love
it.
that.
Nice.
It's the little things like for me, it's not always about money with things. It's like sometimes I like to go to like flea market and like I'll be like to find things for a good deal and it's a better story. That's all I care about, you
What?
know.
Right.
For some reason, I just have these in front of me right now. I don't know why. It's one of my favorite
You
items.
still got the biggest smiles.
I got a couple boxes of those, bro.
I never got my hands on those. That's too funny. All right, but again,
I got this microphone signed by Mike Gorman a couple weeks ago. I thought it was
did you
pretty
really? I got nothing. You know what? You guys,
Rob's-
this is my bobblehead. I got a Toucher and Rich bobblehead on the desk.
cool.
That's about
funny.
it.
It's a memorabilia
joke.
moment.
That's just jokes. I found that at Savers, and I was like, "That's comedy."
Franco, what are you gonna show us,
Yeah.
bro?
Yeah, it's like
Show us.
he's looking. I see his eyes.
I'll just go for the quick flex. Steve Grogan, and then
What
got a
does that
couple
have to do with the Boston Celtics?
no,
Bro?
hold on.
This is a Celtics show, and you just showing a football.
So Rajon Rondo
Ooh.
signed jersey by Jason McCourty, Devin McCourty, and James White.
James White.
Did that?
Damn.
Those.
I'm not gonna.
Those
I just set up.
the Patriots at Celtics.
So I bumped into them in the Legends area, and I let my friend who's smaller than I am wear this jersey, and it was the only thing that we had on us when we bumped into him. So why not have him sign a Celtics jersey?
It's a gold one too. That's my favorite jersey right there. I mean, maybe some indication on the graphics of it, just a little bit. The next generation of Celtics fans joins
Got
us.
the whole fam. Got the whole fam. Hello.
Yeah, both of my sons stopping by.
How we doing?
Are you silly?
Wait.
Say
How
go Celtics.
many do we have? 6 right now.
Say go Celtics. He's shy.
It happens.
How old are you? 2?
You?
You love Celtics?
Yeah.
He loves Celtics. You went to like 12 games already.
Wow.
Celtics won every game you went to. You want to go to a
Yep.
Celtics game tomorrow?
Yes.
They don't even play tomorrow. You still Eagles?
I love that. Well, hey, we need him at all the games. If he's undefeated, he's undefeated, man. If it's game 7,
I'm
know what you
getting
gotta
text
do.
Messages before the game. My friends are messaging me like, "Hey, you bring your son to the game? I want to know how much I should bet." Hey, he's
That's
made
too
a lot of my friends a lot of money.
Made a
We
lot
gotta
of
get a
money.
kickback.
Do you have any futures
That's
right
too
now
good.
for the Celtics? Do you have any futures in general for the NBA?
To be honest, bro, I'm not really a gambling person too much. Like I'm interested in it. I always look at the odds. We brought up the Jaylen Brown slam dunk contest. Like I'm interested in putting a little bit of wagers, but like nothing crazy. And I don't really have like a Celtics like championship bet. Cause like I'm somebody like I want good odds or else it's not exciting for me. Like a
Okay.
couple of years ago in 2022.
Or good luck.
In 2022, I put a crazy, like 5 crazy bets on them when the odds were insane. And when they went to the finals versus Golden State, like I would have won like over 100,000 if they would have won. But you guys know what happened. Game 6, I was there crying
Yeah.
probably.
I have a cardinal rule, and that cardinal rule is you
Yeah,
never bet Celtics. You'll never catch me because like I'm so
Yeah,
invested
never
to the
bet on the
game.
home team.
If I bet on this, it's just like I don't want to grow a bad relationship because they lost me a bet. It's like, one, I think it's bad luck. I have this weird superstition that if I bet on them, they'll lose, and 2, it's like my C's are my C's. I can go bet on the Pelicans. I don't got to bet on the C's. That's what.
You can always tell,
Right,
like,
and you brought
I
up
don't
the
know.
Jaylen Brown dunk contest. What are your expectations from?
I'm sorry, what did you ask about Jaylen Brown?
What? the Jaylen Brown. What are your expectations for Jaylen Brown at the dunk contest?
Oh, I mean,
What do you expect?
he's coming home with the trophy, I think. No matter what, I think he better come home with it. He's going against a bunch of G Leaguers. Let's go.
I'm excited. I'm excited. But again, I just want to say thank you so much, man, for coming on. I really appreciate it. It was a great show. Honestly, probably one of my favorites and one I definitely will remember for a long time. So again, guys,
We got to get a live show going one day. Live show.
One day. Oh yeah, most
Yeah,
definitely.
I would like that.
In
Oh, yeah.
person too.
Do you guys
in
do that
person.
and watch the games?
We don't. We have, and if that's something you're interested, hey, you know, we'll be in we'll be in communication, no doubt. So
I'm shy sometimes.
But again, guys, from me, from Franco, from Seamus, from GRD and his whole fam, guys, thank you so much for listening and joining. And until next time, you know the deal. Go Seas.
Go Celtics.